Hey guys, in this video we're going to go ahead and talk about finding some trig identities. Okay, so in this first problem you have given that sine theta is equal to 3/4 and theta is an acute angle, and we have to use the Pythagorean identity to find the value of cosine. So if you remember your Pythagorean identities, hopefully you understand sine, cosine, and theta, but these are our identities: sine squared plus cosine squared, 1 plus cotangent squared, and so on. So we're going to go ahead and use one of these three in order to solve and find the value of cosine. So you always start with what they give you. So they give me sine theta. Okay, so I'm going to use sine squared plus cosine squared. And then I'm going to substitute that in. It's going to be 3/4. And we're going to square it. And the squaring shouldn't be too difficult. All right, that's going to give you 9/16 plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1. We're going to do the math, and that's going to give us cosine squared theta is equal to 16/16 minus 9/16. So that 1, you need the same denominator. Well, from there, we have 16 minus 9. That's going to give us 7/16. And then in order to get rid of the square, we have to take the square root on both sides, the top and the bottom. All right, so that's going to give me the cosine theta of square root of 7/4. So that's not too difficult, but where students get confused is to determine whether it's a positive or a negative. Because remember, anytime you take the square root of a number, it's a positive and a negative. So which one is it? Well, that's why you use the information given. So if you notice here, sine theta is a positive value because it's a positive 3/4. And you got to ask yourself, based on your quadrants, where is sine positive? Well, remember, the first coordinate here, this is cosine, and the second one is sine. Cosine and sine, okay? So within these four, where's sine positive? Well, it's positive here and here in the first and in the second quadrant. So here and here. So you have two choices now. Okay, so between these two choices, you go to the second part. It says theta is an acute angle. Well, if we start here on the x-axis and it opens up counterclockwise, the acute angle has to be in quadrant 1. So here is where we're looking. And then to finish it off, it says find the value of cosine. Well, in this first quadrant, what's the value of cosine? The value of cosine is positive. So therefore, it's positive square root of 7/4. All right, let's go ahead and do another one. This one is more likely what you'll probably see. All right, it says use the Pythagorean identity to find the value of secant. Okay, so you look at your identities, which one of these three? You start off with sine theta, right? That's what they give you, so that's what you're going to use. So you're going to substitute. You're going to get 1/2 squared plus cosine squared theta is equal to 1. You're going to end up with 1/4 plus cosine squared theta. All right, you're going to subtract 1/4 on both sides. That's going to be 4/4 minus 3/4. That's going to give you 1/4. All right, same thing. We're going to square root, not too hard. And that's going to give you cosine theta is equal to 1/2. All right. All right, so now from here, we got to determine is it a positive or is it a negative? So again, right here we got plus plus. Right here we got negative plus, negative negative, and positive negative. All right. And if you remember right here, all the signs, all the trig ratios are positive right here. Only sine is positive. In the third quadrant, only tangent is positive. And in the fourth quadrant, only cosine is positive. That's what these letters mean. All right, so same thing. Remember, the first coordinate is cosine, the second is sine. And that'll help you in finding the relationships. So then, okay, it tells you here sine theta is positive. So this guy here is positive again. So again, where is sine positive? Within these four. Sine is positive in the first quadrant and in the second. So now you have to choose between these two. So you go to the next value here, where is cotangent negative? How do we know it's negative? Because it says less than 0. All right, so between these two quadrants, where is cotangent negative? Well, if you notice, we don't have cotangent, right? But we do know that cotangent or tangent is defined as the ratio of sine divided by cosine. That's what the definition of tangent is. Cotangent is the same, except it's the reciprocal. It's cosine over sine. Either way, the sign is going to be the same. So here, where is cotangent negative? Well, in the first quadrant, we're going to have positive divided by a positive. That's a positive. And here we're going to have negative divided by a positive. So the answer is in the second quadrant right here. So this is where we're going to look. So then you look at here, it says secant. Okay, so in this second quadrant, is secant positive or negative? Well, secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Okay, so is cosine positive or negative? It is negative. So the answer is negative 1/2. Okay, all right, let's see if we can do 2 more. All right. Now in the next one here, same thing. Now this time they give us secant theta. All right. So and then we're going to use this trig identities. Tangent squared theta plus 1 equals secant squared theta. Okay, so they give us secant. So we're going to set this equal to 8/5. And we're going to square it. So that's tangent squared theta plus 1. All right, we're going to have tangent squared theta plus 1 is equal to 64 over 25. We're going to subtract 1 on both sides. That's going to give us tangent squared theta is equal to 64 25ths minus 25ths 25ths. All right. And then when I subtract that, we're going to get tangent squared theta is equal to 39 over 25. Take the square root on both sides. All right, we're going to get the square root of 39 over the square root over 5. So the square root of 39 over 5. Perfect. All right. And then from here, we got to figure out is tangent theta positive or negative. Okay. And you know what? I think I forgot something. Let me go back 1 here. What do you notice here? And I forgot this says find the value of secant, right? And this is cosine. So what do we have to do with, in order to get secant, we have to reciprocate this. So this guy becomes, to get secant theta, reciprocate this. So we're going to get the answer is negative 2. Okay, and I forgot that part. All right. So let's go back to this guy right here. Tangent theta, they're asking for tangent theta. And it says, find the value of tangent theta. Okay. Well, now we have to find whether it's positive or negative. So they give us secant. Secant theta is positive. And then over here, they say tangent theta is negative. Okay. So secant. In one of these 4 quadrants, where is secant positive? Well, secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So cosine, where is cosine positive? Remember, cosine is the first coordinate. Sine is the second. So where's cosine positive? In the first and in the fourth. Okay. Cosine is your x coordinate. Okay, so between these two choices, where is tangent negative? Well, remember, the definition of tangent is sine divided by cosine. So here we have positive divided by a positive, which would be positive. Right here we have negative divided by a positive, which would give me negative. So the answer is here in this 4th quadrant. Okay, tangent is, what is the value of tangent here in the 4th quadrant? Well, the value of tangent is negative because tangent is dividing sine over cosine. And that's it. All right, we'll do one more. Okay. And for this one, they give us cosecant theta. All right, cosecant theta, we're going to use the other trig ratio. And then from here, you're going to go ahead and substitute again. So we have this time over here. So 3/2 squared. We're going to have 1 plus plus cotangent squared theta. 1 plus cotangent squared theta is equal to 9/4. All right, we're going to do our algebra. Subtract 1 on both sides. Cotangent squared theta is 9/4 minus 4/4. All right, we're going to get cotangent squared theta is equal to 5/4. Take the square root on both sides. All right, so we're going to get cotangent theta is equal to square root of 5 over 2. All right, so now what we have to do is we have to find the values of positive or negative. Okay, so cosecant, this is a positive 3/2, so we have a positive. This is a secant theta is negative. Okay, so cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So which of these is sine positive? Well, sine is positive in the first and in the second quadrant, right? Because remember, cosine, sine. So between these two choices, now we go to the second, secant. Okay, secant is cosine, the reciprocal of cosine. So between these two, where's cosine negative? Oh, it's right here in the second. Okay, so in this second quadrant, you got to ask yourself, is cotangent positive or negative? Cotangent is the dividing of cosine over sine. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. So in the second quadrant, cotangent is negative. All right, guys. So hopefully that helps you guys. See you guys in the next one.